Aloha, the rain has finally stopped here on Kauai. Very happy about that. Today I'm going to move through my practice with the inspiration from a man, aka the Iceman, that I've just recently heard a little bit about his story. He is a man that has been training his mind through meditation to overcome miraculous feats in his body and in his practices. So it's through this meditation practice that he has been cultivating that he can now run half marathons. He's training for a full marathon barefoot in the snow, swimming in Arctic waters, just really amazing things. And a quote that he had said that resonated with me is that he said, "I am not afraid to die. I'm afraid of not living fully." So may this inspire you as well. Let's go ahead and begin here. Today is more of a fitness challenge, and we're going to we're going to move from 50 to 40, 30, 20, 10 is going to be the way we're going to be going through some of these exercises. So we're going to start with our warm-up, and our warm-up is going to begin with 50 lunges. So let's start at the back of the mat. We're going to lunge forward for 2, step 1, step 2, and then back, lunging back for 2. That's 1 and 2. So that actually makes 4. Let's continue. 5, 6, 7. So as you're stepping forward and back, start forward. The forward step should be big enough that the front knee, it may make it to the toes, but it won't make it over the toes. And if it does, you just simply need to take your step a little more forward. Please check that your posture is more upright so that the shoulders are right over the hips. So no leaning forward too much like so. And I've lost count. So we're going to say we're at about, let's say 20 here. This is a really good way to just warm up those legs. You can feel them heating up already. At the same time, I can feel my quads stretching, my hip flexors opening. And the way that I'm doing this is by activating my tailbone. So let's talk about this a little bit. As you step forward, curl the tailbone forward by lifting the pelvic floor and low belly muscles. As the tailbone moves forward, you'll also feel the frontal points of your hips lift up just a little bit. And then the end result through that is a feeling of a little nice stretch through the hip flexor area and through the quads. Let's go one more round, front and back. And sorry, I did lose count there, but we're hoping for a good 50 lunges. Taking a wide angle stance down and up, okay? So that's the exercise. Buddha squatting, here we go, down. 1, 2. Check that the knees go right over the center of your feet, please. So let them collapse towards the midline of your body. Keep them wide. However, as you extend your legs straight, pull the legs towards the midline of your body to really activate and engage those inner thighs. Keeping the alignment of the legs in that way, lift up from your hips generously up into the armpits. So your side body feels lifted and buoyant. For these last 20, let's use the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, find a range of motion that works for you where you can keep the tempo going. Last 8. Ooh, nicely done. Okay, with the arms to the side, we're going to crisscross through the midline with a little inner thigh work, okay? You can stay low like I just demonstrated, or you can kick a little bit higher, your choice. Here we go, that's 4, 6, 8, and 10. We're going to take this exercise for a total of 30 rounds. As your feet leave the floor, keep the feet active. So I'm spreading the toes, pressing out through the mound of the big toe. Think of controlling the work of the legs. So it's a control lift and control with control or finesse, placing the foot back onto the floor. Okay, last one each side. Nicely done. Coming into forward fold. We're going to take it down and up, keeping the low back long. To do that, press your sits bones, the pointy bones of your butt back. You may keep the knees bent. 20, here we go. 1, 2, as you stand, keep your upper quads rooted back. None of this. And of course, I'm really magnifying that for you. The range of motion would probably be less. However, there is a big tendency for the femurs to push forward as we stand. I really want you to resist that by keeping the quads strong to root the femurs back. Not doing too good on keeping a count here. Let's take 4 more. 4 corners of your feet are grounded and rooted. Nicely done. From here, we're going to come into more of an organic standing twist. Take your feet outer hip distance apart. Check that they're parallel. And we're going to move side to side. That's 1. And 2, really start to breathe deeply here. So to oxygenate the body. A little more optimally with the breath. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take 2 full breaths using the arms. On this last one, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. Lift the heart, curling the upper arm bones back. Let's take a forward fold here, taking the arms overhead. One final stretch for the chest. For the shoulders. Root through the legs, rise on up, take your hands to your heart. Take a moment to remember the inspiration of today's practice. I'm not afraid to die, I'm more afraid of not living my life fully. Okay, so we're going to start with 50 burpees. I like to, just to keep it easy to know my count, I start with 10, go into 9, 8, 7. So we're going to start with 10 burpees to the top of your mat. Here we go. Take it down and back. 1, 2, 3. Let me show you modification. You step back, lower the knees. Push up from the knees, step forward to a stand. Okay, one more modification. Step back, knees down to push up, step in. Here we go. Okay, so 10, I'm just going to take a short break with the breath. I think these days and days of rain have taken their toll on me a little bit. 10 burpees and I'm wiped. Okay, let's go 9. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, Last one. Okay. Taking a short break. Break with the breath. Please just check as you're moving through your push-up and your burpee. Arm bones are not forward, they're back as you're working the push-up. Let's go into 8. Last one. Short little break. Into 7 burpees. Here we go. This sequence is definitely a play of mind over matter. I know my body can do this. I know my body can do 100 burpees. So it's really me getting in here and rearranging what I think is possible. 6 burpees, here we go. Okay, small break. We are way more than halfway done. 5 burpees. Here we go. Come on, keep it up. We're at the very tail end here. 4 burpees. Burpees. Okay, 2 burpees, here we go. Best 2 you got. Last one, best one. Come on, let's celebrate on this one. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna grab a small drink. Squats. You can stay with the squat or add the jump. I'm going to add the jump off the floor. We did this in warm-ups. Same alignment with the legs. We're going to take punching to the right 10, 10, 10, 10 for a total of 40 rounds. Here we go. Check the knees. Right to the left, other side. 10. 9, 8, 7, keep those shoulders up. 4, 3, 2, and little break. My shoulders up. I mean, up a little more stacked over the hips. I don't mean up like this. Okay, last 20. Let's do this, here we go. 1, 2. Up. Come on, follow through those legs. Nice. Into mountain climbers. 30 mountain climbers. Keep the shoulders over the wrist. Keep the creases of the wrist parallel to the front edge of your mat. And let's go. 1, 2, 3. Soften that gaze, muscles behind the eyes, soft. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming onto your back. Tabata, Kanasa, sit-ups. I'll start with a modification. From there I'm going to add on by straightening my legs. However, you don't have to if it doesn't feel right in your hips. Butterfly posture with the legs. Go ahead and point your toes. Hands behind the ears. Keep the elbows back, not so much forward. Put a little more open. Here we go. Squeeze through the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can feel a tendency in my own legs for them just to open with like a flop. I really want you to resist that. So create a little resistance on the open as well as the close. Okay, like you're pushing weights down, or my hands on your ankles down to bring the feet towards the floor. And then like you've got little pulleys on the feet that's creating some tension as you pull the legs together. Last 10, 9. Keep the chin away from the chest, please. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Roll to your side to come up, please. 10 dolphin into forearm plank. If you have any concerns at all with your shoulders, a more healthy sequence for you here will be down dog plank. So let me show you what that looks like. Keep the undersides of the arms lifting, no collapsing like so, okay? So from the underside of the wrist, all the way up into the armpits, lift. It's right at the bra line that you press. Okay, don't press all the way through the arms. That will hyperextend the shoulders. Okay, what do I have in my hair here? So that's your sequence, down dog plank. If you do, okay, if you do feel more open, we're gonna do that entire sequence on our forearms, elbows under the shoulders, wrists as wide as the elbows. Coming up into dolphin. Check that the upper arm bones, the humerus bones, stay perpendicular to the floor here. And take it back to plank, that's 1. through forearm plank and dolphin, and the elbows start to splay, move away from the midline, come down to your knees, reset yourself up to finish. Okay, because that will translate into the shoulders coming off the back, and that's not therapeutic for the shoulders. Last 3 coming up here for me. Nice, let's hold forearm plank for 3 deep breaths. Nicely done. Grab a small drink. We're gonna follow, move into one final cardio, a little Tabata run. Second all-out run, 10-second rest on your back. Here we go. Go. I want this to be your meditation, your moving meditation. Really stay centered in your inner body. Feel the breath. Good. Come to your back. Completely relax the body. I want you to feel the way in which you're gazing out into the world. Keep the gaze soft. Instead of it being like deer in headlights, the muscles behind the eyes soften. The intensity here is high, but it feels incredibly nourishing when I simply focus on my breath, like a meditation, just my breath. Go. Really surrender here. Let go of all effort. The play becomes now How deeply can the breath move in? Lay on your back, see if you can breathe just in and out through the nose. Very nice. Okay. Coming seated. We're going to work lateral flexion. Keeping the body moving, but coming into cool down. One more each direction. And now take it to the side and hold. Breathing evenly into your back body as well as into the front body. Keep both sits bones as heavy as you can here. Come up and over. Now, of course, you'll be a little more grounded through the side that you're leaning to, through that side of the hip or the pelvic floor. Try to stay rooted through the opposite hip as well. Come on up. Hands to the front of the shoulders, elbows as wide as the armpit. Through the nose we breathe. Inhale left, exhale right. The head moves just as the spine does. Keep your heart lifted, your collarbones wide. In 8, 7, come to middle, take the arms up, take the hands down, close the eyes, feel. Feel the sensations of your inner body. Let's come to standing for a few shoulder rolls. Keep the front of the ribs here tucked back towards the back ribs. And let's take the arms all the way up and around. And stretching the arms open and close. Just 2 more. And then interlacing the hands behind the back. Lift the heart, upper arm bones back. A couple deep breaths here before taking this into a forward fold. And let's bow. Begin to really deepen and elongate the breath. Crown of the head releasing to the floor. Shoulder blades, however, lifting up towards the hips. Side bodies stay long. Let's take the fingers to the floor. A few lengthening breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's walk back to all fours, cat-cow. One more. And let's go ahead and take the left leg forward into pigeon, bringing the spine upright, getting into the hip flexors here. Please, please, please do not collapse onto the left hip. Instead, from your feet, pull the muscles up the legs into the pelvis, so much so that your right hip moves forward and the left hip draws back. Come to the forearms for a couple deep breaths. And come on up, swap sides. You can do a jump switch or come to all fours to switch. Come on upright. Let's take a seat. Now, of course, if there's any final poses, maybe some quad stretches, maybe a couple little back bends, anything else that your body is craving as far as opening up goes, please take the last couple minutes to do so. Finish with a few minutes of relaxation, either by lying on your back in Shavasana, and really let go of all the efforts of your practice. Enjoy the contrast between the intensity of your practice and your ability to completely let go, to become more clear. Another alternative is to finish in a seated posture, taking a few minutes in your own meditation. Thank you so much for showing up with a willingness to live your life fully. May this continue to flow into the rest of your day and always. Aloha and namaste.